All right. What's going on, Ghosts and Ghouls? It's Montavious back with the Intercrypt, and today we are joined by a legend in his own right, Jeremy Rudd. Man, how's it going?
It's going pretty good, man. Just busy, keep trying to keep busy, keeping up with, currently working on developing and writing and getting all the everything lined up for Dice 2. But, still also working on promoting and getting Dice 1 out there to as many people as possible, taking in all the feedback, good or bad, everything is accepted. Utilizing that information to bring you guys the best possible films. Yeah,
Sure. And congrats too. I mean, I know you released this last October, but it's
yeah.
definitely gained some traction, especially online. So what's some of that feedback you've been getting? I know a lot of people are. I know some of the inspiration behind this was Terrifier, and
Yeah,
you can kind of see a resemblance in it. Also, I feel like it kind of has a lot to do with Halloween as well, with Michael Myers, kind of like the same
yeah.
asylum. So how's the feedback been overall for you and your team?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it's been good, and some of it's been, kind of, stronger opinions on it. But ultimately, we just got to take it all in, and kind of utilize that to the best of our advantage for the next one. But a lot of it's been like, people love the character, they love the villain, they love our final girl, they love the fact that we've seen Scarecrow villains, but we haven't seen it in the way of an outright slasher, terrorizing and like stalking a small town because that was the whole overall idea. I grew up watching a lot of like 80s horror films where it's like the classic slasher film where it's like Halloween, Friday the 13th, Freddy Krueger, Child's Play. So those films, along with Terrifier, kind of cultivated my idea on how I wanted this film to kind of go.
Okay, nice. So I mean, and with the feedback that you've been getting,
Mhm.
are people more or less trying to say you guys are emulating Terrifier, or like, or how's that been? Because like again, I know
Yeah.
that the stuff that I read online is that you guys are trying to copycat, but like
Yeah,
it's different. It's I feel like it's inspiring you guys, and I love the
yeah,
look of the guy. So how's that been as far as people saying that you're trying to copy the Terrifier style?
yeah. I mean, a lot of it's from like die-hard Terrifier fans, but you also get that what a lot of when Friday the 13th came out, a lot of those people said they copied Halloween, but it's ideas like stem from everything. Ideas
Yes.
stem from everything, and then it's like also I wanted a typical slasher film where a villain is like terrorizing the town, stalking some girl or some family and
Mm.
just, killing basically for no reason, basically. So, and that's in a lot of like 80s horror films. That's in a ton of them. And I think people kind of gravitate towards what they kind of the last known film what that is and there's been a lot of that's like the name of the game. There's been a lot of like piggybacking and kind of utilizing ideas from other films, but
Mm.
this one, we kind of took little ideas from different films and kind of took our own films and kind of combined them into one. And this last film, it kind of moved quickly, so we couldn't really develop the characters as we wanted to, also because of budget constraints as well. But ultimately, Dice 2 is definitely gonna have our villain's definitely gonna have their own identity. Our final girl's gonna have their own identity and like characteristics about them that you can kind of love and fall in love with. And then also, we're gonna definitely step it up with the kill scenes as well. So it's gonna be like creative kill scenes, some scenes like you've never seen before in horror. The wheels are definitely turning. We're taking all the feedback we can get and kind of just trying to blow this thing up and try to make it the best film we can.
Dude, heck yeah. And I'm excited for you guys. And it looks like, it was you, your brother, Nathan. So this was kind of like,
Yeah.
and I believe you had some other family attached to the film as well. So was this like a family film that you guys all just back behind and made?
Yeah, so it's primarily me and my brother. But we got a lot of funding and background, or funding and like guidance from our family as far as like because they own a very successful restaurant here in Seattle.
Mhm.
We have 17 locations in here, but they did a lot of so they know like the business aspect as far as like contracts and negotiations and raising funding and all that type of stuff. So they definitely helped us out there, but primarily it was just me and my brother kind of creating this thing basically from using films that we grew up watching, like, Halloween, Friday 13th, Child's Play, all of those films. We just basically just wanted to kind of pay homage to the classic 80s horror films, because that's what we grew up watching, and we just kind of love those as far as like horror films in general.
Nice, man. And a lot of people don't realize too that this is you're actually like even though you're very experienced in movies and all the good stuff as far as like actor and all that good stuff, but this is
Mhm.
your first feature and the first time that you actually written something. So
Yeah.
how was that process of trying to come up with a new slasher and just walk us through that process, man?
Yeah, I did everything from writing this thing, directing it, and then I did all of the post work from the color grade to sound design, sound effects, editing, and everything was my very first time. I definitely learned a ton. Learned a lot. So it's like when I was editing, I was like, why did we shoot it from this angle? Why didn't we shoot different angles, different enough clips? Why do we use this type of lighting? It's just I learned a lot, especially when you're editing your own film. You just learn a ton. And then also like as I'm editing, I'm like maybe 30 minutes in, I started learning new things. So I had to go back to the beginning and start and start implementing those things I just learned as I'm editing on the fly. And it was just a lot of like Googling and YouTube videos, just kind of, learning how to do all these things. And I learned a ton. So it's definitely going to help me for the next one for sure.
Man, and I'm just excited to hear like your growth as a film director, as a writer. So this is awesome. So Dice 2, when can the fans expect Scarecrow to or Benjamin to terrorize again?
Yeah, so right now it's early. I'm speaking to a couple distribution companies and a couple people that want to fund the entire next film. I don't know how much they want to put up for it yet, but they kind of gave me some rough estimates.
Hmm.
And then looking to kind of look over some contracts next week, see what those are. But as well, going to be doing some funding of our own because we want to make sure this project is just bigger and better for sure. And then assuming that takes a couple months or so after that, well, in the meantime of kind of negotiating that, I'm developing and writing the script, and then I would say late 2024, early 2025 for sure. Trying to
Oh
get
man,
something out to you guys.
for sure, man. No, that's awesome. So are you guys ready to see people crossplay as Benjamin going to different conventions? So do you
Oh
guys do
yeah.
stuff too?
What was that?
I said, do you guys do conventions and stuff too? Like horror conventions and stuff?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I had a couple horror conventions reach out to me, kind of set up a booth with a poster and like, set up a table and stuff. So definitely we'll do that when they come up if I have time for it, for sure. Because I think that's a good way to kind of get the word out about the film.
Oh yeah, for sure, man. I definitely think that's how you can definitely market yourself, and especially being like, I mean, I'm just gonna call it how I see it. Definitely the new face of horror. I mean, like I said, you're turning heads right now, man, and I hope that momentum just keeps going. So, what does it mean to you, and just your brother as well, since he's a part of this with you, to just see people embrace something that you guys created?
Man, it's mind blowing actually. It's like I'm just like when we started really promoting and marketing, it's like I'm getting my inbox, my messages, my friend requests is just blowing up. And as I'm just kind of reading this stuff, it's like people are making masks about it, people are making TikToks about reviews about it, like just everything. I'm like, this is insane. It's like me and my brother were just trying to reply to everybody that all the comments and stuff, it just gets to be a lot. Like been a ton of people writing stuff like YouTube videos, TikTok, all types of stuff. We try to reply to everybody, but it could be a lot. But we want to make sure we're actively engaging with the community. I feel like that's what a lot of people kind of try to turn away from, but we try to turn towards it, like
Hmm.
directly speaking to a lot of the people as much as we can.
Oh yeah, man, for sure, and that's definitely going to score a lot of points, especially within the horror community. I mean, that, and I see that you guys are very active with fans and other horror enthusiasts. So, I mean, kudos to
Mhm.
you guys for that. So have you guys thought about like maybe what's the next step for? Because I don't want to jump the gun too much, but you got Dice, you got Dice 2 coming. What's going to be down the pipeline for you guys? You think Dice is going to be the movie that really cements you guys in there with the horror world, or you got more stuff coming on down the road?
Yeah, definitely want to just kind of stay in this lane as of now. Me or my brother might, kind of branch off and do another segment. Uh, I don't know. Ultimately, one of our biggest influences would be Jordan Peele. With his Us movie or Nope. We definitely like a lot of his creativity. So this one is more. This Dice in general is more so paying homage to the typical slasher.
Mm.
I think the next film would be like maybe 2, 3 Dice down the road, like just to kind of do something different and kind of take a break from it. Would be like more of a creative, innovative type of horror, kind of thinking outside of the box in terms of kind of making people think differently of because Nope, there's a lot of Nope and Us, and then Get Out, there's a lot of different hidden messages and a lot of things you can kind of think about and take in. So we definitely want to kind of do something in that realm. It could be with Dice too, who knows? Um but yeah, that's kind of our thinking as of now.
Nice, man. And so I just don't want to assume, but I would say like you are of African American descent, correct?
Yeah. Hmm.
So I just wanted to touch base on this because this is why I started the whole podcast, my whole Instagram was because there wasn't too many people that look like ourselves that are
Yeah.
involved in the horror realm. So what does it mean
Hmm.
to you to be, an a black man that is now you're in the spotlight, man. You and your
Yeah.
brother, and again, it's not many of us that are involved in it. So what does that mean to you?
I mean, it means the world, man. I mean, like I said, I don't know that many African American filmmakers, or even especially in the horror genre. It's very small space for us, and I think there should be a lot more of us, expanding on different ideas, coming up with, different ways of thinking, putting more of our community and ideas out there, our background, our growing up within the horror genre. I think it can go a long way, especially if we're executing our plans right, for sure.
Oh man, agreed. And I'm glad you guys are the pioneers to really, drive the ship. I don't want to put too much pressure on you, but I mean, you guys are definitely the pioneers right now because again, you don't see too many stepping out there out of the comfort zone. So let's talk budget. I don't know if you could say how much was the budget exactly for Diced?
It was around 70, 80,000. We tried to get up to 100, but majority of it was paying production, was paying the actors, was renting a lot of these Airbnbs, paying for food on set, paying for transportation, paying for, all that was, thrown into the film. So definitely wasn't cheap. But we definitely seen a good return on our investment. We're definitely going to utilize that fund to put into the next one. Like I said before, utilize the fund from this one, and then also, working with different distribution companies or investors that want to put into the next one, and then also probably throw up a crowdfunder because we want to have a huge budget for this next one because we know it's going to just take us that much further.
Oh yeah, agreed. And especially with all the attention you guys are getting now, crowdfunding, I think would absolutely get you guys where you needed to be to, bring the fans a second movie. So just with that, man, and I don't want to keep you too long, but what was the idea behind the character, Benjamin himself, like the Scarecrow? Like, what was like? Why did you think of a Scarecrow?
Because I thought of a scarecrow because when I grew up I watched Jeepers Creepers. That guy really creeped me out, and I know he's not. I found out recently he wasn't even a scarecrow, but he just in general just really creeped me out as a kid. I was like, man, like, we used to always go on road trips as kids too. You know where the truck is like this scary truck is just chasing after you. So I kind of want to utilize that, and then also it was like I was looking around. I looked through like maybe over 100 different horror movies. I'm like, there hasn't been that many scarecrow killers. I wanted, something new. If there was a scarecrow, he had like a burlap sack over his face, and I wanted to make sure my scarecrow hot guy had like a face paint so you can see his expressions, you can see if he's mad, happy, sad. Because I just think it draws more of that creepy element. But yeah, so that was the kind of whole overall idea about the scarecrow.
Okay, nice. Okay, and you're right. I haven't really seen, and I think who you're referring to is Baghead, as
Yeah.
the with the burlap sack. So yeah, I mean, you're right. I haven't really seen too many horror movies that have a scarecrow, and your scarecrow is just like kind of comical in a way. He's kind of funny. So,
Yeah.
what was the idea to make him so comical? Like, was that planned? Did you write that in, or was that just the actor just improvising?
It was a little bit of both. I gave the his name is Jason Brooks. He plays our villain. He also did our special effects. I gave him a little input on stuff, but I just basically said make it your own. I was there. There were some points I was like, hey, stay clear away from it. Stay clear away from art. Stay clear away from Halloween Killer. Just try to make it your own. And he did his thing within what he was given. And but definitely for this number two, we're definitely going to be developing these characters and making sure that they have their own unique personality, their own unique traits, their unique weapons that he's gonna be using. So I'm thinking about all of that right now. I just want to make sure he's just basically in a lane of his own as far as a villain. So yeah, so that's all in the works right now. The gears are definitely turning in my head. I'm just trying to make this guy just super creepy, unique personality about him. That's my whole overall idea.
Nice, man. And I don't want to spoil too much for somebody who haven't seen it just yet, but the ending, totally not expecting the bombshell that was dropped at the very end. So
Hmm.
I imagine the second movie may take off exactly where the first one ended.
That is in the works right now. I am. It could go either way. It can like take off for from where that took off, kind of ended, or we can leave that ending for part three. But number two will go into another element. I don't know. I haven't really kind of decided that part yet. But but yeah, definitely that the ending is definitely going to be spoke about more for sure, either in number two or number three. I'm just trying to decide which kind of direction I want to go as of now. But yeah, that bombshell at the end was definitely a big one. I got a lot of feedback on like people were just kind of just shocked about that. They didn't really feel like that was gonna happen or that so.
Yeah, man. It definitely took me for surprise. Like I'm jaw dropped. I'm like, what? Because the whole time you think it's just just a crazy guy that's just going around killing and there's nothing to it, but then you hit us with a bombshell. So
Yeah.
amazing. I cannot wait. So anything you want to say out there to horror fans or to your fans of
Yeah.
Dice?
Yeah, I just want to just say that, Dice 2 with a bigger budget, we're definitely going to be developing these characters that have their own unique personality that you can either love or hate. Definitely going to be developing a stronger storyline that's, just you haven't seen or heard of before, along with tied in with the, elements of classic 80s horror. And yeah, so that's kind of overall plan is to make this thing, just make this movie in a lane of its own for sure.
Nice, man. And so we can all expect some more chaotic kills because I like the whole
Oh yeah.
Nelson was nice. So I think now we're in the era of where like people wanna be grossed out, right? People wanna be able to run out of the theater and be like, wow, I can't handle.
Hmm.
So I definitely hope you guys definitely up the kills on this next one. Have a bloody gore fest, man. So where can
Yep.
people find you and your brother and just stay updated on Dice 2?
Yeah, I mean, they can just follow our, our personal Instagram page. They can follow Diced Facebook page. Let's see, we have a Dice Twitter. We have a website. They can go to our, Dice the Movie website. Constantly updating that. And yeah, when the movie is ready to go, definitely blast that trailer out to all over for sure.
All right, man. And then you want to drop your personal Instagram account there where fans can go and follow you as well.
Yeah, my personal Instagram is Jeremy Rudd 3.
All right, man. So that's pretty much all I had for today. Again, I do appreciate you jumping on and chatting with me a bit, man. I'm a fan of yours. I can't wait to see Dice 2 and all that good stuff. So just stick around after we wrap up here. Just got some few questions I want to ask off camera.
Okay.
All right.